take this money, make this money. Ain't no way you can take this. I knew this chick from uptown. She was woke. That's his biggest hit. That was an expensive video too. He was on the back of a truck. You know what I'm saying? Part of Diddy's crew. But that song, man, they had a lot of people spin off. Some ladies did a spin off of it called No, and it was No, and how females do No. You know what I'm saying? But that's hip hop. You can take stuff and flip it and do what you want with it. I mean, he was part of the culture. I ain't follow him or anything, but everybody knew, what Diddy was doing. His whole camp. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they do now, but everybody was, watching Diddy's whole camps because of, the Tupac and Biggie mix up. So all eyes on me. So all eyes was on him and Suge. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of hits to come out. I mean, 50 seems to be that number. 50's that number, ain't it? Mm, we lost a lot of rappers already. Just to not to like gunshot wounds, but well, shoot, we lost. Who else we lose? We lost just like Uniblab, Craig Mack. Lost Craig Mack a couple years ago. Brother kicking flab. You know what I'm saying? Flavor in your ear. I might bang that today. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. The new flavor in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Big up to them. Black Rob, man, he looked like he was really struggling in that last video, but he was trying to give peace to DMX and hoping DMX was gonna pull through. And I didn't know what was wrong with him. I was just standing like, what's wrong with Rob? The last time I saw him, Rob was doing an interview on and they was asking him about his life, and he was like, you know what? As far as the money was concerned, he was like child support. Yeah, that's was really eating at me. He's like child support. So he got some kids out there. Bless his kids, Lord. They gonna need some. I mean, when your parent dies, it messes with you whether you're close to them or not. So he obviously has some, children out there. But he was part of the culture. He was part of the movement. He was part of hip hop. And for us hip hop heads, even though I don't listen to the new age hip hop because I don't understand them. Uh, I'm still back in the De La Soul days. De La Soul is from the soul. I'm still rocking with them. I'm still, I still, what I'm saying? I still like me some Busta Rhymes, but I don't listen to any of his new stuff. You know what I'm saying? I listen to the doom 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 Busta Bust the doom doom. Check it out. Hit you with no delay. So what you saying? You're like that's my stuff. What's sad about it is DMX was yeah they were friends. And the thing about it is a lot of those guys are friends. A lot of those guys in that whole era, even the ones that beef with each other, a lot of the beefs did not come to them offing each other. And at one point or another, you find some of it was just frenemy beef. You know what I'm saying? Some of it was just frenemy beef. It wasn't and then, of course they were told to hype up beefs between I ain't saying them two had beef. I'm just saying a lot of these guys are from the same hood. A lot of these guys, I mean, they're just young dudes who start beatboxing and, on tables. A lot of them was doing criminal stuff together. DMX was a criminal. Before DMX was found, he was robbing people with his dog. He'd walk up to people in the park and he would rob them. And he had a dog with him. He was like, that dog will get you. I ain't gonna rob you with no gun. I'm gonna rob you with this dog. And he would tell people to, run your jewels. And they would run them because they didn't want to get bit. You know what I'm saying? DMX was a criminal, you know what I'm saying? But then he switched the game up. He turned it all around. He started getting money. He was still a street dude. Black Rob is a street dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, DMX was robbing people with his dog. You know what I'm saying? What? He was robbing people, man. DMX was a straight thief. He was getting at people before he became famous. And the way that the story goes, how DMX got on, how he became famous, he was robbing people, and then they was looking for a new artist, and some cats who knew, rap a little bit. They went to his crib at night and knocked on his window because he lived on the first floor and was just like, "Come on out here and talk to these people because they looking for a new rapper, somebody who got that whole it to him." And DMX came out. The thing about D is he never changed. Even though he started serving the Lord and talking about God, because like he was going through some pain, but he never changed. He never became a soft dude. He never became soft spoken. And Black Rob, I don't know what he did as a youngin', but it wouldn't surprise me if he was in some criminal stuff. I mean, Tony Yayo and all them, they all in the criminal stuff. They all in the stuff. They all done been locked up at one time or another. So it don't like they all knew each other. 50 Cent, all these cats, man. But it's the culture, you know what I'm saying? They talked about what they knew. And, you hate it or love it. And you know what I'm saying? They just talked about the streets like new cats talk about the streets. But the new cats are knocking each other off. They're saying you didn't have as much as rappers getting knocked off now. That drill music is killing these young folks. But yet they're into it. Yet they need to have some type of gang affiliated to get along. You know what I'm saying? Mothers are afraid to send their children to school. It's crazy. They're afraid to send their daughters anywhere because their daughters is going to get, banged out. Their sons is going to get beat up. You know what I'm saying? That stuff been happening, but now it's, you're not afraid the daughter's going to get banged out. You're afraid the daughter's going to get shot in the head. It's changed. Before you was afraid, some dudes was going to run through her, and that's what they did. Now there's no respect. You afraid that the daughter's going to get shot up, just like you know what I'm saying? Your daughter could be hanging out in the corner, and then she crossed the street. Bang! This actually happened in L.A. And the reason why she got shot, they said, because she was in the wrong territory. All she did was cross the street. Bang! So and she was a child. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the way these young folks are losing their lives, it just don't make no sense. But the OGs, when did we start losing OGs? Who's the first OG we lost? Let's see, who was the first big name OG we lost? Heavy D. But in the last 10 years, the first big OG that we lost was Heavy D. Was that in 10 years? It was longer than that. How long Heavy D been gone? Had to be Heavy D. We lost Trouble T Roy, right? And, we lost Heavy D. That was the dude. Peaches. Love me some Heavy D. Because he wouldn't curse. And everybody loved and respected him. He wasn't a hood dude. He was like, I'm a cool dude from the hood, and I'm not gonna curse, but my whole thing is preaching love. And and that's what he did. He, man, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Oh man, have a dilly dilly dilly. Man, I loved Heavy D. Loved Heavy D, man. He was just a cool dude. Ain't no problem. Ain't nobody had no problems with Heavy D. We lost Heavy D. That was one of the old school, first big old school names that we lost was Heavy D. I don't know who else. I don't know who else we lost that was a big old school name within the last 10 years. I'm sure y'all know more than I do. But Heavy D, Craig Mack. We just lost Craig Mack a couple years ago. Uh, of course, Big and them, but that was longer than 10 years ago. Shoot, losing the old school people. Them New York rappers, man. For me, because I'm from Pittsburgh. Those New York, oh, Jam Master, no, but that was longer than 10 years ago. Jam Master Jay. But as far as the hip hop is concerned, those New York rappers influenced me and my neighborhood so much. We wanted to dress like them, we wanted to look like them, we wanted to act like them, we danced like them. You know, Pittsburgh has a more laid back style of all of it. But New York, I mean, we were still an amalgamation of New York. What we heard, we wanted to dance like Michael Jackson. Hey, what's going on? What's happening, bro? We wanted to dance like Michael Jackson. We wanted to, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to pull the honeys like Prince. Uh, you know what I mean? But when rap came out, you wanted to rap. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to dance like Michael, but when rap hit and Curtis Blow came out, you know what I'm saying? Curtis Blow. They're playing basketball. I mean, you was it turned us out. We was dancing on linoleum, break dancing. We was doing stuff now. I'm lucky if I get down on the floor and get up. But we was flipping on our backs and trying to break everything yeah, trying to impress the little chicks that we was running after. You know, we was doing a lot of athletic stuff, but it was a lot of fun. And who knew that hip hop would be number one now? Rap is number one on the airwaves. There's nothing. Look, black people took over the airwaves. You know, when when they got rid of all the good music, Paul Righteous Teachers and all them, and Public Enemy, and start playing gangster music because they wanted to tear our neighborhoods up. I'm sure they didn't think that black music was going to take over all music, and then it was going to infiltrate every single country, and all the little white girls was going to start screwing, the little black boys. Like, I'm sure if they knew that the little Jewish girls was going to be like, yo, I'm going to bring a black man home, that they wouldn't have done that. I'm sure they would have been like, no, we don't want to play that game because I don't want my daughter. Yeah, well, guess what? Your daughter is messing with a black man. And she don't want a little Jewish boy. She don't want one of them because they're boring. She wants somebody who got some swag, who got some flavor, and she don't care if you cut her off. Go ahead, cut her off. You'll lose your daughter. You know what I'm saying? You better open the door and welcome that black man in your house. You ain't got no choice. You gonna lose your little girl? What's more important to you? You're going to lose her. And these little white girls bringing home black boyfriends, and these parents have been losing their damn mind. And now it's like, they're now you got the older parents who wouldn't listen to hip hop, listening to hip hop, and they're like, you know what, it ain't that bad. And these little black kids ain't bad. They're just black. We didn't expect this. But, my daughter is sleeping with a black boy. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna have to face it. She likes the music, she likes the culture, and you like the music. You out there listening to Rich the Kid. You like the music. It has a certain je ne sais quoi to it that you can't get around, and a lot of that came right out of New York, came right out of the slums. And that's the reason why people like it, because it is music that is 100% the truth. Now, you got people who are lying in it saying they do stuff that they don't, but the culture is the truth. The talking about being poor and the struggle, it is the truth. And when you can talk about your struggle and find people who can relate to it, you'll find out that the struggle is in every culture. You'll find out that the rich people are struggling. They struggling to keep up them big ass homes and cars, and they're struggling to be like the Joneses, and it's a struggle. And when they start talking about their struggle, it's unfamiliar to us, but it's still a struggle. You hear a rich kid talking about his rich kid problems. Well, they're under some real pressure, and some of them, they go ahead and off themselves because they can't take it. This is why, that's a huge problem in Asian cultures, is because they're set up to be bankers, and when their ideas don't work, the pressure from their parents, they go ahead and they just get on up out of here. They go to those woods over there and then, say goodbye to the world. Listen, it is a real struggle. I don't care if you got money or not. There's a struggle, and then now you have a way to talk about it. You have therapy, and you have all of these people all over the world who are listening to you and going, that happened to me. That was my life right there. And they start doing this, and then that beat, they're just like, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that happened to me. When you start listening to them beats and that spirit jumps on you, you ain't got no choice but to agree with hip hop. And so we lose another hip hop icon, Black Rob. But Black Rob came and did his thing, you know? Um, I only know one song by Black Rob, but nonetheless, he was still a major influence because he got out there and, you know, he made money. P. Diddy put him on, and he did his thing. And then, in P. Diddy style, he got put on the back burner. And then he's just out there, living like, what I'm saying? You ain't see him on a big screen anymore, but he was still out there rapping, still out there doing his thing because that's in you. Just because you're not out there with lights and cameras and all that stuff doesn't mean the culture leaves you. Especially if you are a part of that culture where you're somebody who people are looking at and wanting to hear more of the truth. This is why so many people from other nationalities follow black people, period. This is why you have, movements where you have a bunch of people from other cultures are going, I'm down with black people in their struggle. We need to, stop doing this to black people and, all this other stuff. A lot of those people listen to our music, and that's how they identify with us. That's how they agree with us. And, just when we were slaves, we were singing. It's just stuff that it's just what we are. You know what I'm saying? We've always had rhythm. We come from a place where rhythm is life. And once it got over here, we didn't lose our rhythm. We kept dancing. We kept singing through all of the hatred. And even the hatred now, you're not going to stop our music. And now you gave us an avenue that, unbeknown to you, we were eventually going to take over. And we're not done because black music is number one now on the airwaves. Number one. And we've also taken your music and we're number one in that. Country music, who's number one? Lil Nas. We're number one. And there's nothing you can do about it. People love our music. They're going to keep, and eventually we're going to own our, and I think we already do, I think Blue Chip, or I don't know. But eventually we're just going to be like, okay, we want to own our own radio waves. We want to own, we don't need to use you anymore. We don't need to use you to get our message out there anymore. And that's already starting to happen because of the internet. So you have a lot of people who are just in their homes making good music, posting it, Little Yachty, and then people are like, I'm down with that. So peace out to Black Rob, his family. You know, the music will continue. The marathon continues, Nipsey. You know, we're not going to forget about you because you are of the culture. And spiritually, what you did will never leave. You know what I'm saying? Your influence will never, ever, ever leave. People will be saying whoa until the end of time. And they will identify one man with that word, whoa. And it will be Black Rob. So that's what I have to say about that. You know, and to the rest of the OGs out there, everybody's time comes. Everybody got to face the Reaper. You know, but put out that good music. Keep putting out that good music that feeds the soul. Keep loving those, you know, those families, and bringing up them little hard heads and making them realize that what you do now can last forever. How do you want to be remembered? How big will your ripple in time be? How many people will you influence? And how did you influence them? What did you do with the precious time that you had on the planet? And when you leave, will we all be in a better way, or will we be worse off? It's your boy Tom 202. Peace.